What can I do for you?
Show me the money.
As an architect, we have to bear the load of all the major decision making when it comes to designing. Puns aside, in this video, I'll try to explain the key concepts that will help you do the heavy lifting by deciding which structural systems to go for while designing.
In less than 90 seconds.
Structure refers to a framework of elements which gives form and stability and resists stresses and strains. The easiest way to understand structure is that it's that part of the building that resists the loads being imposed on it. The loads can be categorized in the following two ways. Number one, static load. Static load is assumed more or less constant. It includes A, dead load, or a load that is fixed, like the load of the structure itself, or B, live load, or load that may not be present at all times, like the weight of the occupants, the furniture, etc. Number two, dynamic load. This type of load can be suddenly asserted, greatly varying in magnitude and location. For example, wind loads, earthquake loads, etc. Let's get back to the forces that we were talking about. Number one, compression or compressive forces. It can cause the members to squash. Number two, tension or tensile forces. This force can cause the members to stretch in different directions. Shear force that can make the structure tilt. Number four, torsion. That can cause the structure to twist. Number five, bending. It can cause bowing of members. So in other words, structure is a combination of the interconnections of different elements that work together. That is why we use the term structural systems. In order to understand how structural systems work, we need to understand what the elements of a structural systems are. Some of them are walls, beams, columns, arches, trusses, cables, slabs, and shells. A combination of these elements and our requirement for the building type determines the type of structure that we generally use for a building. There are several types of structural systems that we can choose from. Each system has its own weaknesses and strengths. We're not going to discuss the structural systems in this video though. To conclude, a structural concept should remain very, very clear. The elements can be different, the materiality can be different, depending upon the type of building that you're building. In simple terms, a structural system has to transfer the load of the building through its interconnected elements into the ground. Done. How did I do in time and content? Please let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in looking at structure in a different light, I highly recommend looking up Andrea Palladio, the Venetian architect. I'll link some of his videos in the description below. Please have a look. Structure refers to a framework of identifiable. Fuck you, man. It's so loud.